42 teams in the Scottish Pyramid, 5 slots available for European competitions. Most of our teams are shite, but which ones do you support when it comes to UEFA and European football? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football, and we asked the question. Don't really know why. I think it's because the last 16 was coming up. Rangers are still in it. The coefficient's beginning to drop, and we kind of needed to know. We needed the reinforcements. We need to know who actually supports who in Europe. If you're Scottish, do you support all the Scottish teams? Do you support the Scottish teams that you don't hate, aka everyone except your rivals? Or do you only support your own team because all the other Scottish teams are wankers? We wanted to know, so we put out the poll. 1.2 people voted. There was 3 options, all Scottish teams except my rivals, and the last option was only my own team. Now, before we look at the results, let's give our own thoughts. Personally, I do support all the teams in Scotland. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I necessarily want a Scottish team to win a European trophy, but I want them to win games. I want them to get far. I want them to get to certain stages of the competition. Now, I mean, as a Hearts fan, would I want Hibs to win a European Cup, and therefore that gives them something that Hearts will likely never ever win or ever get close to winning? I mean, probably not. But, for example, this year in Europe, I wanted them to get past the qualifying rounds. I wanted them to beat Aston Villa, although that certainly did not happen. And the same goes for all the other teams. I want them to do well. I want them to qualify for the group stages. I want them to get out the group stages. I'll be the first to admit, I don't know if I want them to go all the way and win it, but I want them to do well, even if it's for selfish reasons, because of the Scottish coefficient, and I want my country to be represented well in Europe, and I also want my team to have a better chance of doing well in Europe and getting into Europe. So, yeah, I do support all Scottish teams.
Well, I do support all Scottish teams as well, because apart from Celtic, of course, they're Irish. Oh, brother, testify. But in all seriousness, right, see when Rangers were going far in the Europa League, obviously Celtic fans didn't want them to win it, right? But deep down, they knew it was going to help them get a guaranteed spot in the Champions League. Obviously, in England, in the top leagues, it doesn't really matter how far they go.
Yeah, because England are always probably going to be in the top 4.
Yeah, I never want Celtic to do well, right? But if they're going to do well to an extent where they don't win anything, but it benefits Rangers, then I'm all for it. But I'm not going to openly cheer them in every game. Like you said about Hibs, if it benefits Hearts that they do a bit well in Europe, then why not?
I want them to do well without doing too well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, now, see when Celtic went into every Champions League game this season, did I want them to get beat? Yeah. But if they're going to do well, I'm not going to greet about it at the end of the day.
Well, I do want our Scottish team to do well, so I'm voting yes. Holy shit. Only 15%.
I'm not surprised by that.
Where's the patriotism, lads? Seriously.
No, but see, to be honest, right, you've got Rangers who obviously don't want Celtic to do well, don't really want Aberdeen to do well. But, like, say when Motherwell were against Sligo Rovers, do Rangers or Celtic fans really want Motherwell to lose to Sligo Rovers? Now, obviously they're Irish, so maybe Celtic fans would want that. But say they were against an Andorra team. See teams that don't have a rivalry with Motherwell. Why would you honestly want to go out your way for them to lose?
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't want the Scottish team to win over the foreign team.
It's like,
especially when a win for the Scottish team boosts the Scottish coefficients, which could help you, your team, whoever you support. We've seen recent years Scotland have managed to get 2 spots for the Champions League, and we've seen that they've managed to get the winner go straight into the group stage. Now, yes, Rangers have added the bulk of that coefficient to the Scottish coefficient. They've added the majority of it, but they haven't done it on their own. Other teams have contributed to that. So, I mean, Rangers, if they win the league this season, they will go straight into the Champions League group stage format next season, like league format, whatever it is. They'll go straight into that. But if, let's say, Celtic lost a couple more group stage games in the last couple of years, or let's say, Hearts, for example, didn't beat that Icelandic team twice, maybe winning the league this year wouldn't be getting you automatic group stage football. So I do think it can benefit your team by having other Scottish sides get victories in Europe. That's why I support them. Plus, I would just rather see a Scottish team win than a foreign team win. Why wouldn't I want a team from Scotland to win? I don't get it.
Fair enough, but yeah, I don't like seeing Celtic win.
28% of people said all Scottish teams except my rivals. I can accept that. I think that's fair. I'm surprised though. 57% only support their own team. That's more than half. I'm shocked about that. Really
Yeah, but
am.
you've got to look at another perspective. When Aberdeen were out when they beat Frankfurt, so it's not like benefiting. Like, yeah, Rangers fans might not want Aberdeen to win, but if they beat Frankfurt, it helps the coefficient.
Are they jealous? Aberdeen did something Rangers couldn't.
I was a bit jealous when they beat them. Like, I mean, if Aberdeen can beat them, why couldn't Rangers? Aaron Ramsey, but
Well,
anyway.
I think Rangers game meant a wee bit more. But anyway, Johnny D says, proud Dubliner here. I cheer on the Glasgow Rangers in all games in Europe. I bet you these two comments are hate.
Yeah, it won't be good. I'm sorry, friend.
Proddy West Brit, no other explanation. Graham Roberts, Glasgow Rangers died though. You must be thinking of the tribute band called the Rangers. Right, fair enough. I mean, you can be for Dublin, can't you? And support Rangers, doesn't mean shit. Shanklin Jambo, of course I support Hearts, but when Rangers was in the Europa League beating Dortmund, Braga and Leipzig, I was happy for them. And in the final, I was chanting Rangers songs. Right, that's a wee bit too far. I mean,
Chanting Rangers songs is
this Ewan Cameron's burner account?
sounds like it.
Fuck me, we've got Michael Beale on the burner now, got Ewan Cameron.
Shanklin's burner account.
Could be. White Solanum said there's only one Scottish team in Europe, the famous. This
famous
season.
by Puddle of Mud.
Service, there's only one Scottish team worth watching in Europe. Absolute embarrassment, all the rest of them. I'm not having that, right? Aberdeen had a pretty decent campaign this year. Beat Frankfurt, something Rangers couldn't do. I think performances, they deserve more wins than they got. I think performance-wise, Aberdeen arguably deserved to get out their group.
I agree.
But here, woulda,
But they
shoulda,
didn't.
coulda. They didn't. But I'm not going to say they were absolutely embarrassing. They weren't. That's a lie.
I think Celtic was the only team that were embarrassing.
I'd agree with that.
But it wasn't like, yeah, Celtic were embarrassing, but it wasn't overly embarrassing.
The only positive you can take as a Celtic fan is they got their first win in 10 years at home, so hopefully that's that monkey off the
And
back.
apart from the 6-0 game, they were in every other game.
Yeah, they were competitive, but they still lost 5, not good. Janice
Well, they
said,
drew one, mate.
I'm all Scottish teams apart from Celtic.
I agree.
Who cares? That would be Scottish champions Rangers. Celtic aren't Scottish, as they keep telling everyone. Irish, Palestinian, they can't seem to decide. I'm going to assume Rangers are British here based on one of these comments. Scottish champions, haha. Neither are Rangers. The whole of England aren't even English, as they claim to be British. That's an international team called England plays for a British national anthem. British half-British supporters, Liverpool SC. Only team in Scotland that's got songs about the monarch and confused at Scotland, little England team scum, pure English scum. What? Only team in Scotland that's got songs... Oh, right, we're talking about Rangers then. Fair enough. Alexander Christie, just the Gers, the rest are shit. Fair enough. CME, anyone but Rangers. Fair enough. Quadruple. It's all about the Celtic. So I take it, then you don't support the whole teams. Janice, you've got a cheek to put a Scots flag on there when all you ever do is display the Scots flag. It's tricolour in Palestine. See, to be honest, like, when was the last time you actually seen a Scottish flag at Celtic Park? All I ever see is tricolours and Palestinian
You do tend
flags.
to get, like, the green with the white.
No, but
That's not really...
I'm on about the actual legit You see more Scottish flags at Ibrox than you do Celtic Park.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not even debatable.
I mean, they had that
I know.
Pride of Scotland flag. No, you do.
You know, you do. I mean, for the simple fact is, I've seen Scottish flags at Ibrox. I don't think I couldn't tell you last time I see a Scottish flag at Celtic Park.
I would say any time I'm at Ibrox, it's probably about 70% Union Jack, 30% Scottish flag, I'd say.
Fair enough. Sharpie Staunch said Rangers, yeah, it's the most successful club in the world. Name another club that's won more trophies, because Celtic ain't even the most successful club in Glasgow. Ali and Egypt have won more, actually. I hear this all the time, but I mean,
We're counting them.
Ali. I mean, they probably bought all their trophies, didn't they? Threatened to behead any club that when they lay down. So that makes Rangers the most successful club in Europe then. Rangers died in 2012. You're Sevco now. Is that the best you've got? Mind the gap.
Seeing
Sevco,
like
can't
20
liquidate.
odd years, right? Are we still going to be doing this 2012 pish? I need to know.
2012. Always living in the shadows of the big-handled cup. Big old European. Yeah, look, I'm not going to take anything away from Celtic, but I think they did win the European Cup when A, it was easier to win it, and B, I mean, pretty much all football clubs were on a level playing field. Money hadn't completely taken over. Clubs from anywhere could compete. Like, fucking Linfield back then could compete.
But they didn't.
Well, they did.
Oh, alright then. When?
You tell me Linfield never had success. I'm not saying in Europe, I'm not saying they won European trophy, but I'm saying like pretty much back then in Europe, all the clubs could compete.
Aye, well, to a degree, yes.
You had like Stu Bucharest for Romania. They won it. They won a Champions League. They'd never get near one now.
No, I'm not denying it wasn't easier, but if it was that easy, loads of more teams would have it.
But the European Cup was shared.
I know it was shared, and
it was won by clubs from all these different countries.
Well, Real Madrid did win like the first 5, didn't they?
How well they win them non-stop nowadays as well. I mean, do you not see them win 4 in a row, whatever it was? But yeah, no, back then, I mean, it was a lot easier to win it. I think it was only 4 games you had to win, and there was only one team for each country, and like there was the money hadn't taken over football, and it was just every team was playing on a more level playing field. Now it's just like unless you're for like a top league, it's pretty much impossible to win it. Well, not impossible, but it's fucking hard. Let's see. Should says, we all want to see Scottish teams do well in it, but we all know we really want our team to do better than anyone else in it. Fair enough. I can't believe you don't think teams back in the day actually competed better.
Of course they did.
It's a nonsense statement.
When did I not say that?
I said teams like Glenfield competed back in the day.
But they never competed to win a European Cup, man. They were nowhere near it.
No, I'm pretty sure they made the semi-finals.
Oh, fuck, I'd like to fact check that, big man.
Right, we will after this vid.
I'll tell you right now.
Well, you go and do it then. Sean Maxwell, I want all Scottish teams in Europe, then after that just Rangers. Hufik said, how's your queen? Pay her taxes. Oops, too late. Like, I wonder, what's that actually got to do with it? Like, seriously?
Well, the year Celtic won it, they got to the quarterfinals. There you go, not quite the semi-final you were on about. That's the best they ever did.
Alright, oh wow, okay, that's pure shite then, isn't it? Quarterfinals.
Well, it's not exactly ideal, is it?
What do you mean it's no ideal?
Well,
You're saying
like winning it, is it?
Oh, fuck, I never said the one. I said they could compete.
Yeah, I know, right, move on. Know your role. I look at their opponents. CSK red flag. What is it? Is it a fucking F1 race?
What do you make of this comment here for Hufik? Right, there's no need for a 10-second delay, just give us your opinion.
I mean, what is there to say? No, honestly, right? See the Queen's dead jokes, you know, or watch the steps. This is just people behind faceless accounts on YouTube. I'm not going to take this bad, right? I've made jokes about everything in the past, so if I'm going to start taking things bad like this, and I think people actually need, you know what, right? See, as bad as comments like this can be, we've all said shit about everything.
I know, but sometimes I'll say a joke like in the heat in the moment. I just don't realize this is a. I mean,
no, it is
to actually take time out to type this, then hit comments. I don't know, it's a bit.
No, it is. No, absolutely. No, it is pish, but these are people who wouldn't say it in real life to anybody's faces. They're all keyboard warriors, so I'm not going to take it bad. Right?
No, I need to take it bad. I'm not taking it bad.
I'm not going to take it bad. Just saying.
Sorry. Martin Ladors, only Rangers because every other fan group hates us overall. Jason Finlay, there's only ever one Scottish club left in Europe, and that's the famous Glasgow Rangers. That wee club called Celtic are completely useless in Europe and good for a laugh. Fair enough. Ellen McCormick says any team except second 2012.
Who's that, Ellen?
I'm assuming that's Rangers. Who's top of the league and who's no? You have to be in Europe first, your helmet. Timmy Tears on cue. You Hackett looking munter. Alright, okay.
Georgie.
Toby Jones, none. They're all shit. Celtic and Rangers would struggle in our championship. This is obviously one of those clueless English fans, isn't it? I remember when teams like Man City, Chelsea never had the Middle East cash and were poorly supported. Championship, who? Don't make us laugh. Seen better crowds in my local park. Yes, crowd-wise, but ability-wise, no. Leeds and Leicester would undoubtedly be first and second in the Scottish Premiership.
They just wouldn't, though.
Would they, though? Would Leeds and Leicester really be first and second?
They wouldn't be.
Would Leeds and Leicester get to a European final that Rangers done only 2 years ago?
No.
I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it at all. Mark McQueen says Celtic beat Man United when they had prime Ronaldo, beat Liverpool when they had prime Gerrard, 3-3, 1-1 with Man City in the Champions League. I mean, that's true. Celtic done that. Now, I would argue that was a while ago, and like the money advantage, the gaps got bigger. But I still think Scottish teams Old Firm can compete with anybody on their day. Sit down, do you by any chance smoke heroin? Years ago, pal, haven't won a significant game in a decade. I mean, Celtic and Rangers Celtic would be worth billions if they were in the championship. Championship wouldn't allow Celtic in as they're getting done for paedophilia, tampering with kids' court cases. Ongoing fact, the Glasgow Rangers would run smoke in your pish league. Richard Porter, I'm an Englishman and I support the famous and simple the best. FC Rangers, 26 replies, Jesus Christ. We are the people, the artists formerly known as the people. Simple is right. You are the people that let your club die. Simple the best. I know who's the simple one. Simple the best, 1 league title since they were formed in 2012. You can't liquidate a football club, you dummy. Craig the Fudd. Fudd. 55 times, get in there. Which one? Don't forget our Welsh cousins. Who stuck 10 pence in you pleb? Well, by the way, mind the gap.
This is why you can't take these comments serious, man.
No. Steve Lee, I'm English, and like any sane Englishman, I support any jock team but Hibs and Celtic. Interesting. Ian McCarthy, good answer. Conor McKenzie, and like any other decent Scotsman, I support anyone but the Guffey teams, the wee Huns and the weir Huns. I take it he means Hearts there.
Diet Huns, I must be.
Steve Lee, I'm sure that means something to somebody. Must mean something to you before you're getting involved from all the way down in Guffland. I'm not English. Englishmen saying, somewhat rare methinks. Aye, so it looks like we have more back and forth bullshit. Is the correct answer God Save the King, Steve? That will be none then. Tatty's gone. Mercury, all Scottish clubs apart from Sevco. The only club that can do well. Mick Max says, fair play, mate, must be brutal considering we're the only team to see European football on a regular basis after Santa's been. I support all the European teams when they play the tax evaders, even after Xmas. It helps me cope with the fact my team are ranked rotten in Europe. At least he's honest.
At least he just accepts that.
We are the only show in town when it comes to European football. Celtic, Aberdeen, Hibs can't hack it. Hufik said, that's because you were always in the Mickey Mouse Cup, for fuck's sake. Never ever Champions League material. Well, I think Rangers will be in the Champions League next year, so it should be interesting to see how they get on.
Even if Rangers finish second, there's a good chance they'll be in it.
Yep.
Automatically.
Remind us of your recent achievements in Europe, so they don't really have any. Palestinian supporters. RWSN said any Scottish team that isn't Jers, and that seems to be where we're coming to an end, guys. So, cry more. If we don't do well in Europe, you FUD, your mob are finished. Let's face it, there's only one team that flies the flag in Europe, and it ain't Savills 11, you stoter. And that is it. We're going to end it there. So, as you can see, I mean, just look at these comments. Are you really surprised that 50% of the poll are saying that they only support their own club? You look at the, you just look at the bitterness and anger towards each other's clubs. I mean, I'm not surprised that they don't want the other team to do well.
Yeah, honestly, that's what happens, man. No surprise here. Rangers and Celtic were always going to vote only my own team, and everyone else kind of doesn't like the old firm. But I'm surprised the middle option didn't get more.
Yeah, I thought that would have got more than 28%. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let us know what you think down below. We'll catch you in the next one. And yeah, looking forward to the return of European football. The coefficient is going down the toilet, so we do need Rangers to deliver some big performances, get some big results, get some big wins, and hopefully they can do that. We'll catch you in the next one, guys. Till then, peace.